all set?
Yep.
Rise to allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Every time.
First of Hi, John.
Yes, sir. My annual request to move the Jersey barriers on Maple Street Bridge in Union to allow snowmobile traffic across the bridge for the winter.
I meant to stop there today. I have actually tried to give them a call and I didn't get a hold of them. I just want to make sure all the vehicles are out of the way for us to do that. I
That's
don't
easy,
think-
Pop. What about the other side of the bridge? Have you looked at it at all?
It's on the air side.
There's a bunch of collectibles, I'll say.
Really?
Yeah, it was all we could do to turn a car around there the other day.
Are you gonna be able to get through, where does it go after,
What
when's the
kind
trail
of
go?
collectibles are you talking about?
One man's treasures or another man's junk. As soon as they cross the bridge, they take a left, follow parallel
Yeah.
up to the
Yeah, I
bridge.
think that's all, all set for him.
You may want to look at it.
I put out my trail master, I talked to some gentleman, I believe that owns the property right across from the bridge,
Yeah.
and he redirected us so we can go around his collectibles. like you said.
Good,
Yeah.
good,
So,
all right, good.
yes, sir.
Do we move the barrier?
Yeah.
So,
Your town manager moves them.
okay.
I think that's more of an insurance type thing.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of the vehicles there today, and I tried to call John today and see if I can get them moved. He's kind of closed in again, which is fine. I'll get him to move, but I'll call him tomorrow.
And then I'll take
You
care of
take
it.
care of the pillow thing.
Yep.
You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Have a good season.
You too.
Thank you.
Next time.
Did you guys get enough cookies?
Yeah.
All right. Union Village Community Association, Tom Doobie, and members. Would you like to come up here, Thomas, and tell us what you got going on down here?
Right here?
All right, I did go down there, I didn't make it down there yesterday, but I did go down today, but I was down here, so I stopped in, but you wasn't there today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went, I think it was probably around 8:30, 9, between there.
If you come tomorrow.
Well, I would love to see it. I went down, crossed over the bridge, went down, checked out the blacksmith shop and looked at a bunch of other things, and I wasn't quite sure which building was the one that we were talking about. Was it the gold, it's the long gold one?
No, I wouldn't call it a rest, but
You're up on the bridge, the one on the left-hand side, the dark colored one, is the blacksmith shop.
Correct, I
The
saw
one
the
on
name
right-
on
The one on
blacksmith.
the right-hand side it went with the property across the street, and he recently sold it to a guy in Milton. The guy that owns that plumbing shop just going into town, on the right-hand side, right by the new fire station.
So do you pull down the street, the shade, the carpet guy, he always had that corner lot, you pull down that building?
Yeah.
That's you.
That's right.
Do you pull down that side road
You
right
get
there?
down you get down over the hill right there, turn right by the railroad tracks, get down over the hill. The first building is that, you're talking about the one across the street. on
Across the
left-hand
street,
side.
yes.
That was the old monument
Oh,
business. The one opposing that on the opposite side of the street went with that property, that other gold one.
Yeah,
And then the one next to it is the blacksmith shop,
okay.
which the Heritage Commission owns.
Yeah, okay, I did saw the blacksmith shop, I saw the name, it said
Yeah,
blacksmith, I
yeah.
couldn't miss that one, but I just couldn't quite figure out which one that I was talking to Dave this week.
that one's on the other side, but further down river is the mill. You go in a long driveway down into the mill.
So to get to the mill, do you go across the bridge, or you have to go down, you stay on? See, I drove down that way towards the post office, and I couldn't figure out how to get out into there.
Well, it is a little tricky because there's a
just barely past the freight station on the left, and it's a driveway that goes down in between two buildings there. As a matter of fact, the driveway, the deed shares the driveway with the house on the left, actually. So as you're on the street, you don't really notice it all that easily. But once you look straight down the driveway, you're looking at the mill building. Unfortunately, the pictures we do have here don't have a picture of the mill. We hadn't thought of it that way. A couple of the pictures you folks got in the packet, in the letter that I mailed, were just, they are scenic shots. And the truth of the matter is, one of them, you can just barely, it's on the lower half of the page there, that would have been the 5th page in the whole packet, I guess. You can just barely see one corner of that blacksmith shop, because I took the picture from Bridge Street. So you're looking at one corner of the blacksmith shop, and this was kind of a misty day, so way down at the other end of that picture, you're gonna see just a little tiny bit of a red building there. And that building is accessible from Main Street. Its actual legal address is 317 Main. It shares a driveway with the house that's, what's Skip's last name?
Foss.
315 is the house that's up on the street that actually used to belong to Lyle Drew, who ran the mill years ago.
So do you guys, I don't know if you guys all know, everybody here, I know you guys all know Dave Toll, Richard Mauser from Brookfield that works down in part of the Union Village Association, Dick House, of course Nick Boucher, I don't know what you know, and myself. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to read the package and look through it at all. And, you know, really, you know, and the biggest reason why I got involved in Union is because I was down there with the Resource Center, and I can tell you the big storms that we had, Mother's Day storm and Irene, and it was just fascinating watching the water go over that dam, that angled dam that was always there, and just
That worked, Teresa.
Yeah.
it broke my heart when that dam got this man. It's just, it broke my heart from the extent where I can't believe that, you know, Dave told, worked me over and told me all kinds of things that I should get involved in that dam, and I didn't think that dam would get torn down. And every time I drive down there, I just can't believe that we as a town, and myself included, and I know Dave pushed hard, and I know all these other guys didn't want any dam to go away down there in Union. And so with that being said, you know, we think that the economic impact of Union, if the dams go away, and especially this pond with this last dam, is gonna really keep negatively affecting Union Village. Economically.
How would that happen?
Well, because how it would happen is that there'd be no pond down there, so there'd be no reason for the, you know, a nice spot there for the kids to play. There'd be no noise from the dam. There'd be no spot that you can go down there where it's picturesque. I think it would hurt. I know it would hurt the existing bridge, the only bridge that's left down there, because if that dam goes away, that means the water's going to be rushing below through that bridge and going to hurt those bridge abutments, just like the Maple Street one. From tearing out those other two dams, the water flies down through there, washed out underneath those two bridge abutments. If this dam goes away, the same thing's going to happen to that bridge. Fire pond, the chief needs the fire dry hydrant on the south side of 125, on that side of the river, and he also would like one on the pond on the lower side at the Drew Mill. And I think the Union Village Association is in the forefront of seeing the need to keep that dam for the viability and everything that goes on in Union, that pond and that.
So those were your reasons for economical benefits. I didn't see one economical benefit there for the kids playing and fire safety and things like that. Those are all good reasons for you to keep the pond.
As far as fire safety, I can speak about that, I think. 2 years ago, Craig Hill's house caught on fire. We had 12, I live right there on the corner so I can see this whole thing. And there were 12 pieces of equipment there with no water. All the trucks in the road don't matter. If we don't have water, we didn't have access at that point, like that hydrant wasn't working. And I've watched them hook onto that several times over the years and play with it, and once in a while they'll get a spit of water out of it, but to no avail.
Oh, I'd all be for a good hydrant down there. If you've got 10 trucks there and they used all their water, there's nothing left to save. You've just used 15,000 gallons of water.
They could have saved the house. There was a bedroom on fire. It was a mattress that sunk to sleep.
Room contents.
And it started that way. And it got to the point where the smoke damaged it to a point where it was better to tear it down and build new, which he did. Another building that went that I don't think really had to was that mill in the center of town. They had all kinds of apparatus there that went to the other end of town. We had a snorkel truck and everything from Wolfboro, and you could have poured more water out of a glass than they got that night. And that led to the destruction of the store also. And that was a water problem. So we do need water down there, and not only that, but we're at a disadvantage to begin with, because by the time the trucks get from here down there, it's a disadvantage. It's quite a hike down there.
That's because nobody from Union's on the fire department.
No, but it wouldn't do any good without equipment anyway.
There's no trucks in that station?
There's one old truck in there, but I don't think they ever use it.
That's because there's nobody from Union there's nobody from the community that volunteers for the department. So, two-way street, and I am all for it, yes, I fully agree that you should, the chief should budget for a new dry hydrant, and whether the dam disappears, you could create a pond in that area and have a couple of thousand gallons of water, but in this day and age, it's the water that's on the road. If you can't put a fire out with your trucks from town and your mutual aid, you've got a huge fire and there's nothing left.
So, to answer your question, about economic impact.
Yeah.
I think you touched on it there, where no one might be on the fire department from Union.
Yeah.
Because there's no growth, it's stagnant. And the community spirit, with all of those things leaving over the last 50 years, leaving that area and the highway going through and not having, the viability of everything happening, I think that's why you don't see a lot of volunteerism, maybe in the fire department or back this way to town. But the community spirit, I can tell you, if that dam and that pond goes away down there, that community spirit's gonna have a big impact on the economic development of that area.
Is that dam in need right now? Is there a problem with it that that it's gonna blow out right now?
It's not gonna blow out, but there is a need. It is in repair, it needs repair. So if your dam needs repair, the state's coming down hard on you and saying that you gotta do a reconstruction, you gotta get a reconstruction permit. We believe our dam can be repaired, but we still have to try to go for a reconstruction. And the biggest thing with the reconstruction is what they wanna know is if that dam, with the river coming down, and if there was a 100-year storm, that your dam has enough adequate overflow, the overflow area, the emergency spillway, is big enough to handle what goes over that dam. Our emergency spillway right now is in very rough shape, and we've spent a lot of money right now on engineering to get it so we know the right proper size it has to be now, and it's in tough shape. So now the state comes down and sees their spillways in rough shape. That's when they put the clamps on us and say we got to do something.
Who owns the dam?
Excuse me?
The association does on the dam.
Yeah. It's not town property,
No.
It's not.
so this would be public money for private property.
Well, I think that's at the tail end of the letter that we sent you. I mean, I think we do something somewhat similar when you support, for instance, the food pantry. And for that matter, the resource center. These are things that are partially run by a nonprofit, by people who are not specifically part of the town government. But there is support for that by the town. And this, I'm pretty well convinced, I mean, Tom's been trying to get around to saying it here, but the collection of we need a word, but sites, the collection of sites in Union is really kind of interesting. I mean, people used to stop all the time to take photos of the upper dam when it was alive and well. We're hoping to, once we get the lower dam actually repaired properly, we're hoping to be able to have a way that the public can actually get at it more. I mean, a lot of people live many, many years in town and don't even know that thing is there.
I
you
never
know?
did either.
And it's every bit as scenic as the other one. It's just not right on the street. I'm getting sidetracked because what I'm really trying to say is you've got the resource center, which is a historic building on its own. You've got the freight house, which has been reworked now. You've got the blacksmith shop that they're in the process of doing. You've got the congregational church that the church members have been keeping up and improving. They repainted it about 10 years ago. They took over the Grange and they're working on the Grange Hall. The dam and the pond, and incidentally also the mill building, are just part of that whole cluster of things. Now the way I believe that has economic value, it's a little bit touchy-feely. It's hard to figure out exactly what that is, but we're at a point now where there are enough publicly visible things so that if we get people down the street, you know, in the area, they see that there's really something, for lack of a better term, there's really something neat there. And I think that's it's not a pipe dream to think that that's an avenue towards a certain kind of, not exactly tourism, but, you know, visitation of the village. And if those things are all secure, I think we as a group and the residents of the Union part of Wakefield are going to feel better about essentially pushing those kinds of things. You know, spending the time to create a brochure and figuring out ways to put that out into the public.
Drawing more attention.
And I really think, you know, it's not going to happen in 6 months or 18 months, but I really think over a period of time that what's already been built up by the Heritage Commission, you know, we can just sort of pile on top of that with both the dam itself is 1869. It's a historic structure, you know, it's a design of structure that's really very, very cool if you look at it, if you think about the 19th century nature of it.
That's the reason the town's there.
Well, yeah, that's something Snooki was saying the other night, and that
That's
is,
the reason the town's is because of the
You know,
dams.
if the river weren't there,
And then the railroad came in, and that's why we're here tonight.
yep, that's true, that's why the settlement got there. And I also think, to just keep, you know, beating my dead horse here, that I think that's the way the settlement can come back. And that would be a real plus for the whole town of Wakefield, it seems to me, because there are a lot of other areas of Wakefield, when I drive through them, I think, this is cool, and there's a lot of older historical kinds of things all over Wakefield. But here we've got like 6 or 8 things all clustered really close together.
Kind of like a Willowbrook or something.
Yeah.
But, answer your question, Kenny, there's no question that it's a private association, but it's a nonprofit, it's a Union Village Community Association. It's not a business or a private entity. We would love the town to own the Drew Mill Dam and be able to fund it and make it what it is. I mean, these guys, these 2 guys up here work on it every day. They go down there and they're making a wood shop that people can go use, these old tools to be able to build some things. They're working on there's a spot in this dam that you can open a gate that used to run a turbine, that you can open it, and that makes it easy for us to work on the dam, because the spillway, we can send the water through a different avenue right through the middle of the building. It's really an incredible dam. It's really unbelievable and neat. Anybody that likes water in any way, shape, or form, would see what it really means to the Village of Union. And there's no question that the people that know Union Village, like Snooki, that have been around there forever, and these guys working on it, how important and how fun and how much there is there, it's incredible, and I think the town should help Union Village keep that pond and keep this dam.
Are you guys asking Milton for any money?
Absolutely not.
They're the ones downstream being saved by this dam.
No, it's not that, Kenny. It's not why we're saving it, to worry about somebody downstream.
That's one of the better reasons, in my opinion.
No, it's not. It wouldn't hurt a thing. If this dam blew out tomorrow, it wouldn't hurt a thing downstream. Not a thing.
By the way,
It's
that's,
gonna flow the same spot.
This is about keeping the pond and keeping the dam in the village.
That dam
Keep the
saves a
viability
lot.
for the village. Help our village, nothing to do with downstream.
So you,
We need to do the right thing. The town needs to do the right thing for the village, for the dam, for, you know, and I heard your comments last time about that we didn't want to own that other square dam down there, that 90-degree dam, that was unbelievable. I heard it then, and I'm telling you, you know, and I should have did something about it then. And I kick myself in the keister every day I drive down there and see that dam torn down. Because we could have, instead of just looking at it like, we don't want the liability of it, and I agree, the town shouldn't have liability. But it doesn't mean, you know, we shouldn't plow our roads, or we shouldn't do the right thing. And the right thing for that village down there is to keep those dams, and keep the ponds, and keep, you know, the village there intact. It's just, without those ponds down there, especially this pond, it's the larger pond, we need it for fire, we need it for the, you know, I hate to hop on the, you know, the big birds that are hanging out in that pond and everything else there, the turtles and everything that's there, but I just don't see us letting ponds go away, and it's really, really awesome.
I don't think that happened on it. I live right there on the river. I look at it every day. I mean, I just continuously look out there. When the water level goes down, all the animals, birds, everything, they go. You put water in that pond, and in 3 or 4 days, it's full of wildlife, and it's nice. Along my property line there's a path that runs down through. The art club has been down in there setting up their easels and so on, and painting. They go down there. There's a continuous flow of people. There's people that walk their dogs down there. And it's really, really nice. I had some people back 3 or 4 years ago that used to get down, a whole family on a regular basis, throw a blanket down and have a family picnic. Without water there isn't any reason to do that. A lot of people enjoy it.
and it's as I keep saying, it's sort of intangible, but, you know, those people aren't gonna go do those things. And if any of them are from out of town, they're at least spending a little bit in the, you know, in the gas station or someplace, or maybe even coming up here to the grocery store. So it's that kind of economic value, but I'm starting to think, you know, you're gonna have to give Snooki a hell of a rebate on his taxes eventually, because he's not on the edge of a beautiful pond anymore. And there's 4 or 5 other buildings that are like that. Not to mention, no, yeah, right. Not to mention the fact that it would be harder for, I mean, when I came in 15 years ago, I bought my house because there really was a pond created by that upper dam directly behind my house. Now it's gone. And I'm thinking, if I want to sell the house someday, is it going to be as saleable? Is it going to look as inviting as it did to me years ago? And it's any of the houses that are within eye shot of the pond that we're talking about are going to be a little harder to turn over in the future. I mean, that's a negative way of looking at it, but the positive way is we keep the pond, we end up bubbling up with a lot of possibilities. I mean, our organization is planning on a little sort of picnic area on the edge of the pond when we finally get all this worked out. That's something that the members of the village, of the town of Wakefield, anybody who wanders through can take advantage of.
There was tons of negative economic impacts over the last 50 years in Union. There's been some great things happening in Union. From, you know, the Heritage Park to the Resource Center to even up at the corner, the Dunkin' Donuts and little strip, you know, commercial there. There's things happening there. We want to see it continue to happen, and we don't want to see another setback. And we really think this is a setback if this dam goes away. And I really think the state was being harsh on people with dams, you know, until I looked at this dam. And I can see it needs repair. Okay, so, but on top of that repair, the state, you know, packs on. Like, you gotta repair your dam, so that means you gotta bring it up to new
Up to code,
standards.
you know?
Yeah.
New standards.
Yeah.
That means you gotta do a study of the whole area of watershed to see how big your spillway has to be. And
But
you
how
have
can
to,
you- how
and you
can
have
you-
to fix your spillway.
How can
So-
you bring that up to new standards if you're trying to keep the character of
Well, we can, we just gotta make it a little wider. But we had to spend tons of money for an engineering study to be able to figure out the size of that, which we've been able to do with some town help through the Conservation Commission. But Dave and Richard Mauser have figured it out already. They've done a tremendous amount of work on plans and figured out how we can do this. And it's gonna save us money on engineering, but we have to have somebody with a stamp. It costs $12,000 to get this permit from the state through the engineering. I thought, you know, I could get down there, I could get involved in, we could raise some money, you know, we had a community thing last year. You know, yeah, we raised, you know, $500. We understand it was $500 a lot of money to us, you know, for just $400 a year just for the permit to keep the dam. But, you know,
Yeah, that was a.
so when we look at a bill of $12,000 for engineering, and we've worked our tail off to try to get that number down as much as we can with volunteer work, it just was like, there's no way we're gonna save this dam without going to see the town. And we think it's a major part of the town, and we think that it's not a money pit per se. And I don't like that word money pit, but certain things we gotta give money to every single year, no matter what. You know, to keep it operating, keep it moving. This dam, we're looking at this one-time thing, getting it up to code, getting the spillway done and done right, so the water can't wash out. Right now, the water can go down through the spillway, because
It's going underneath it.
yeah, it's going underneath it right now, so we need to fix it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm just gonna say, you know, we, the town, through the Heritage Commission now, we put money into the station, the Freight House. We've got the senior citizen center there, 9 yards, all the start buildings. And it just kinda saddens me to sit there at the nice station we just done and look in the mud hole, which is getting worse every year because the fact that we couldn't flood the pond, you know, we're not really supposed to, but we do, whatever. And it's like the job isn't done. I mean, we've got quite a few thousand in these 3 buildings.
I agree.
It's like the job isn't finished.
The positive thing about this, despite what Tom was saying about the state agencies, they're kind of on our side. 2 or 3 of their correspondences, matter of fact, we had Jeff Bradley look into it about 4 years ago, and the response he got back was very positive about the efforts that we were putting into it. And as a result, they've actually gone easy on us. They did issue what's called a letter of deficiency because, you know, it needs the repairs, but they gave us a time frame that stretches all the way into 2018 if we need it in order to do the repairs. And they're not saying do it tomorrow. But the truth of the matter is that the things that we have done things. We got a local mason to help us do some patches on the Main Street side of things that were really sort of desperate. This was 2 and 3 years ago. We put in a lot of our own effort and our own elbow grease already. And the state agencies are actually, for lack of a better term, they're actually kind of impressed with what we've done so far. But the reality is that once you want to do a real serious, you know, serious for us, for what we can handle, a serious repair on the far side of the dam in particular, where this emergency spillway is, it's just out of our reach. You know, we have raised, in bits and pieces, we've probably raised, what, $6,000 plus other grants, you know, but we spent it too, you know. Tom said it really fast, but just to have the dam, we have to pay a registration fee of $400 every year. So, you know, the first 2 potluck suppers we have, that's shot right there, just to pay the rent, so to speak.
What are you guys looking for us, the board?
Well, you saw the dollar amount.
I see the dollar amount, but I don't believe we can just give you the money, but what is it you, say, have you thought about maybe putting a warrant article in and asking the people?
Well, we were wondering what you guys would recommend, whether it could be something that could be, come out of any kind of line item budget that you guys could put in for $15,000 for the next 2 years in, 15,000 this year, 15,000 next year, and put it through that way, or if you think it should go to a warrant article at $15,000, this year, and another one for next year. We were looking for what you guys thought.
I personally think, the people would probably spend it. With the group I see, on my own opinion, I think that if it was on the warrant article like we have right here, if it was on this warrant article and I was voting for it, I would support you. I'm not sure how this works with me right at the moment. I mean, but I don't. What does it take for them to do
So
that?
there's 2 different things. The selectmen could move forward a warrant article saying that they're supporting this and that they're moving the article forward. If the selectmen choose to not to move an article forward, then it's a petition warrant article, which is 25 signatures to get it on the ballot. So right now, I'd say that those are the 2 options. As far as the operating budget, it can be in the operating budget because it's not a town, it's a non-profit organization that would not fit into any of the town budget
I'm
articles.
curious for my own information, how are there is certain support for instance, the resource center.
Yeah, which is
How
under
that-
Health and Human Services. So we have a whole outside agency section, which all.
Right,
is
but
under-
I've heard stories, for instance, that it needs, I don't know, either a roof or a paint job or something, that the town is doing that.
We own the
They own
building.
And we're not
The town
doing
owns
any
the
of it.
building.
They came in and presented it to put onto the warrant article, and the warrant article goes out to the people.
All right,
That's it.
all right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm one that will always support whatever the people of this town, if it's voted on, whatever. As for me, I think you got a great board here, and I think that you can definitely accomplish this. And you have my support as to help push forward. I can't just give you money, obviously, but I don't know, what do you think?
I think it's a wonderful project, and I think we should do whatever we can to help it along. I'm not sure what that is. As Teresa said, you've got these options, and I think you should definitely look into these options and to see. I know we can't just give you the money and put it in the budget because it's not town-owned, number one. If it were town-owned, it would be a whole different scenario.
So the only way we can do it is by warrant.
So let's do it by warrant. Will you guys vote to support it by warrant? To put it forward?
I would, depending on what it says. Now,
No, are you saying that the board would write the warrant article?
Well, that's what I was just
The board
gonna
would
ask.
move it forward, or you want to petition the warrant article?
I was gonna ask Ken, what is your thoughts on the board supporting a warrant article?
Sounds like they have 2/3 of the votes for that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
That would be the way we would like to go, because we don't want to see it by petition.
It does,
We really think it's part of the,
I can understand it too.
part of the town.
So you're looking for the selectmen to do this part of it, to put it on the warrant article so that it has the support of the selectmen.
Yes, we need $35,000. We would love it to go, if that's the best way, a warrant article, we'd love to have the selectmen's support. I mean,
Well,
we'd be more than happy to write that.
you see 2 of us already here that's supporting, and I think Ken just needs a little more.
I would, just so I can say, I would definitely still want to look into it and make sure that the board can move forward. I'm giving those 2 options, but I want to make sure that the board can move forward an article of a building that isn't town-owned, that for an association that isn't, town. So if the board is willing, if you want to move that forward, then I would definitely need to call DRA and the attorney to make sure that the board can do that. And if they can't, then your next option would be the petition warrant article.
Now, because in the past, I've looked at a whole string of warrant articles, you know, when it's, every year when it's time to vote. And I see on occasion, a particular part of the town government, let's say the Board of Selectmen, recommends this by a vote of this to this.
Yeah.
Is that something that you folks do, even if it is a petition warrant article?
If it's a money article.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And
That's what I'm
budget
saying, no
committee.
matter what, I believe that you're gonna see the selectmen either support it or not.
Because what I honestly, the reasoning behind what Tom has been saying here is that it does seem like something that the town should support. I think that at least for some of you here tonight, if you could, you would support it through the mechanism, you know, on your own, through the mechanism available right now. But in fact, it not being a town building or site, whatever you want to call it, you know, you don't really have the luxury of doing it that way.
Correct, that's the worst part about it.
But I think that in the past, as what I'm saying, just as a resident of the town, when I see a warrant article and I see one or even two committees seriously recommending it, then I just close my eyes and vote yes, usually. You know, it's the logical thing to do. It implies that it's had the kind of consideration that you guys are already giving it tonight. So that's, to me, it's a help.
Okay.
You know, if we have your support to that. Are we under some kind of a real time constraint now? Is this?
Yeah, so they are going to be talking about what we have so far for warrant articles. They'll meet again December 28th. That will be the last time that they'll be meeting again before the budget committee then will also meet on the warrant articles. The last day though for a petition warrant article is January 10th. That's not the new calendar, but it's January 10th. On that day, the budget committee also has a meeting and a public hearing. So they'll take whatever we have from petition warrant articles and vote on them at that point. So the budget committee will vote that day. Likely, I would say the selectmen then at their very next meeting, which would be that same week, would then also vote on the petition warrant article at that point. So during those ones, the budget committee would vote first, and then the selectmen would vote.
So would it be, okay, they get their signatures, put it onto a warrant, get it, petition the warrant article, we still vote on it, they're still going to see the support, whether we do or we don't, on it. So I think it would be to their benefit also to do the petition warrant article also. And when we get it in front of us, you're gonna see the vote. You're gonna see 3-0, or 2-3, or 1-2, or whatever it is.
If they have it before December 10th, they'll December 28th. If they have it before the selectmen's meeting, they'll vote first, and then it'll move to the budget committee. If it goes the other way, the last deadline is January 10th at 4 o'clock.
Okay, now you're saying the budget committee has a December 28th meeting?
No, the selectmen.
Okay.
We roughly knew these dates and it was coming,
Right.
but we had to have engineers, we had to be able to get these
Prices.
numbers. We really wanted to have estimates, like concrete estimates. We have good estimates from good people that understand what has to be done, and we've gotten good, you know, a really good vibe at our number. But, you know, we waited as long as we could to try to get all that good information. Our engineer just completed most of the work, but it's still another 3-month process to get him to get this plan that we have into the state to apply for the permit. It's incredible.
Let's say, what would you petition? What would you petition for? Would you split it up a little bit?
Well, I'm tempted to, but I would wonder, I mean, I mean, on the one hand, you could say, well, we really only need roughly the 17,000, roughly half of it during 2017. But the warrant article, what I think I would understand is we have to do a second warrant article, maybe a year from now.
Right.
Have you had any experience with, I mean, we may be in the position of not needing the second half until 2018, although if we had it in front of us in 2017, we might be able to find people who would actually just do it in September and October, and we'd be done with this whole problem. But I said earlier that the state will give us the grace of waiting until 2018 to finish everything. But maybe we're being foolish to settle for half a loaf at this point. I mean, maybe we should be asking for the whole sum, because that will give us the option of really going ahead, going full tilt with it.
Does the town own the river? Does the town own the river? Does the town own the pond, the water? I mean, is it something that could be in a fire department budget for maintenance, for that dam, for that fire pond?
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, because one of your members was saying, well, if we needed a fire pond, we could make a fire pond, that's the town making the fire pond. But I suppose it still gets murky. It gets murky trying to figure out how to actually trace and track the funding.
It's a really hard draft out of that fire pond with the pond down.
That's true.
And there's only very little water at that point.
And all I was trying to say is, we're not asking the town to repair the dam, you know what I mean? That should be our problem to do the
I
actual
just want
repair.
you to know, I know we understand.
Yeah.
And Teresa's just given us our own, we only got two options.
Yeah,
Either we put it in as our warrant article, and I don't mind supporting that as well, as much as I'd like to see your group put it in with us, so that we kind of like have a bunch. I think the more people that are involved, the more people that are gonna see that this is serious business.
Yeah, we're ready to do whatever you guys want us to do.
all right.
But,
Well, Teresa's
So what
gotta
you're-
check that out.
yeah, she's got
So, well, I guess I just wanna, I gotta make sure, I understand, I wanna make sure the board, if you, no petition, if you can move an article forward, are you willing to do that? That's my question, because I don't wanna
Well,
research this
I'm
and
willing
not
to put it out to the people.
with your warrant article, not petition warrant article.
Because
Oh, is that a separate?
There's separate.
there's two possibilities.
There's two
yeah.
possibilities, either the Board of Selectmen move forward, like, for, say, the resource center's, septic tank, okay? When I have a price on that, the board will move forward with an article for whatever the amount costs, and that's the board moving an article forward and voting on and saying, yes, we're in favor of moving this forward, because that's what you wanna do. If you don't, then the next step is the petition warrant article to come to the board to go on the warrant, and then the board and the budget committee can vote their recommendation or not recommendation for a petition warrant article. So there's two ways to do it.
You're not even sure that one way is totally.
Right, but I don't wanna start researching and doing all that if the board doesn't wanna go that way. So I wanna make sure that the board wants to go that way first before, because we'll be wasting time. They need to know tonight how you wanna.
So I think the honorable thing for our organization to do would be to volunteer to actually write the warrant article, you know, and do it by petition. Because you guys got enough other stuff to do anyhow, without being told that you're gonna do yet another warrant article somewhere in the next 3 weeks, you know?
Well, I personally would like that, only because then it comes in front of us and then we will vote and support it.
Right.
Who wants to support it, but
Right.
you'll still have the support.
Right.
But you also will have some involvement.
Right. Well, and I think you've been saying this, but us demonstrating the involvement probably helps it go forward. I mean, I'm sure at the deliberative session, somebody's gonna say out loud, all these people have been working on it, you know? Rather than, this is something that the Board of Selectmen hashed all on their own.
Right. Yeah, and deliberative session's a really good time.
We can blame it on Kenney, though, that'd be all right.
You can do.
Well, the big
you know,
thing is you could probably do it all at the deliberate session. You know what I'm saying? If you understand how that deliberate session works,
Yeah.
you can all show up and,
But you have to have the petition.
Yeah, you
warrant.
gotta have.
Oh, yeah, we need that way in
So I
advance.
think the tough part is to decide whether or not you go for the whole thing, or you go for.
Yeah.
Teresa, historically speaking, how would we be better off to go for the 17,000 or go for the whole?
I know,
Which one's your favorite kid? It's the same question.
Would we be more likely, you think, to get the voters to go for the 17 than we would the 34 or whatever we're asking?
that probably is the way that I would go.
well, they probably think, then the following year, when you come for the other 17, I think you'd probably get that money much quicker, saying that, all right, we've already done this,
They've
this is
already
the second
invested.
half,
They've
we've already
already
invested.
They're not gonna say the town isn't good, but the people of the town are gonna say, wait a minute, we already did this?
They may, you have to do
You
a
have
good
to, you have to make sure
explanation.
the thing is, but then again,
So,
you could, do like I said, that deliberate session, you could come and ask for that, you know how that works. It wouldn't take much more than want somebody to stand up, make a
Well,
motion and set something
Not
else.
when it's petition. When
Oh, they can't do that
When
at
it's
the
a
deliberate
petition
session?
warrant
They
article,
used to
if
do it.
they go for
It's like
17.5,
up or down, right?
you go for 17.5 and you're at deliberative, it stays
Oh,
at
that's
the
what,
number.
no, that's what I meant. I meant, they could, oh, if they
Stays
have
that
it, it stays
number.
the same as what their
The
petition
only
was.
articles,
signed it.
Right.
I don't know if they would have
right,
signed it.
it's, the only way it can
That's
change,
right.
the only ones that can change are the ones that are put forward by the board.
I see.
So that number would stay the same.
Petition or
yeah,
something.
for how much?
But-
All of it?
Okay.
Well, we can figure that out on our own, is what Teresa's saying.
I think you got a great board, I really do. David, you with me?
I'd like to add one point. I live in Wakefield, but I've been enamored by this mill and dam and pond for many, many years. And Dave and I spent a lot of time down there. It's a beautiful spot. And most people in Wakefield don't even know it exists. That dam and associated pond and mill building is of such historic core of Union that it was several years ago, it was awarded one of the 7 to save by the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance because it had such a historic part of that village.
And
It would just be terrible.
I realized we missed a really good bet here, and that is that Jim Garvin, the former state historian, went through and did all the research and helped us get, we've got all the preliminary paperwork approved by the state's Heritage Commission or whatever it is, recognizing that whole site, the dam and the mill, as a historic site. That's another thing that we forgot to tell you that for the simple reason that we're so worried about just fixing the dam and keeping the water in the pond, you know. But there are multiple reasons to support the site, I'm going to call it, not just the building, not just the dam, not just the pond. The whole thing is really. Jim Garvin spent a lot of time on the history of it, and it's really remarkable. And something you said made me think of this. It's the dam and the mill, and by extension the pond, are one of the last, I think there are a total of 11 other sites, 10 other sites that represent an actual working woodworking, mill site. So we're as the town of Wakefield, we're holding something that we can actually, put up as a banner. Really, I mean, this is something to attract a little attention, and I think it goes along with it, or it complements, I guess, all the other kinds of things that we do have here.
That's why I think that you have great opportunity to get what you're asking for. I don't see that not happening.
Right.
I just think that, I think that myself, I think you as a board, you do that thing, put it in front of us.
So you guys on the December 28th, and when do we gotta get it in here to use?
So, for that meeting, December 28th?
So all our signatures, get the petition in, make sure it's the right thing, get it
Right,
checked,
you gotta get
make
it,
sure
you
it's
give it to
done
the
right.
town clerk,
Okay.
and she verifies all the signatures, and then it comes to us. So,
What about the wording?
Before
Do we have to
Christmas.
check that wording with where it's petitioned?
Mhm.
No.
No, and I think if you look at some of the other ones, it's, you know, to
Mm.
see if the people would vote, you know, to help
Yeah.
the union, village, community, you know, that type of wording. I can help you a little bit with it if you'd like. I mean, we are here a half a day because of Christmas. I don't know when we'd be getting the packets out. We likely might not get them out until the day before, you know, the 27th, that day. So we would need everything by
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, yeah, by the 23rd at noon,
Okay.
if you could, you know, and it's just, it's 25 signatures.
We just
I
petitioned
think,
Santa.
I think you've got 5 signatures right here, so I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
be too hard.
I don't, I
25
think if you go around the
signatures.
village, you'd be,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
made, first thing you're gonna do is ask them if they're registered
I
voters.
was just
In
gonna say.
Wakefield.
Oh, yeah.
They
In
just counted
Wakefield, or
5
you know,
signatures.
because,
Yeah.
right,
There's
because
something you account
it's inevitable that somebody goes, yeah, I agree, and then they're not a registered voter.
Two from Brookfield.
Oh, that's
So
right.
get like
40.
35 or 40 signatures, yeah, just in case.
He's not registered. He's registered voter.
All I'm gonna do.
All right. Well, we thank you very much for your efforts.
I think you guys got something to look forward to, so, you get it to us and then,
We had a full week to put it together, get it tonight, but
Couple
I'm
weeks.
second.
And if it doesn't work, you do have until January 10th. So
we're just trying to get it in before the budget, right?
Right, yeah, we want to try to get it here.
you want them to look at it before the budget committee, is
Absolutely.
that right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we want to at least hopefully have that, you know,
Right.
So you could get
Yeah,
our
they would be
support
very
and the
good.
budget
Yeah.
support, it'd be really good.
they, you know, we know, we hope we can get them all to like it.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
We're out of here. Yes, thanks a lot.
No.
Dick, you want,
Yeah.
Take it under there, which is why I totally.
Yeah, this is an ending day and getting into the right day. Night.
thank you.
Right here.
Just so you know, Tom Beeler mentioned to me that he couldn't be here today. This is his night to do editing and get the paper together.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, that's
Tuesday night's a
right.
very, very bad night for him to come, and he apologizes that this will be one of his first meetings he's ever missed.
Yes, it is, because I don't think I remember one.
Yeah.
That's a bummer, we're not gonna get it in the paper.
Oh, he'll get it from the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, I mean, it's all nice ideas, but I think I'd like to see them put it up to us.
Yep. I
And
think
then that shows a lot more involvement and, than just us doing it. Okay, good. Let's move on. Those are- Okay, Green Village. Unscheduled comments, nobody in the office, audience. Sand policy.
Okay, I bring this to you again. So just a couple of things that had changed, as I had stated at the beginning of the last meeting, was we changed to say like public sand versus, I think it just said sand containment area. I changed road agent to director. The part on coupons that may be redeemed now says only may not be redeemed during an active storm or during the cleanup operations after a storm. That was not in there before. What else was not in there is loading of trucks with sanders will be at the town's convenience only. This is with the people coming in to get the sand coupons. Anyone with a pickup truck, you are to load yourselves up to 50 gallons. Any contractor who avails themselves of this opportunity does so at their own risk and shall hold the town harmless for any personal injury, equipment, or damage, vehicle damage which may occur as a result of obtaining purchased sand. That's all new. That was what was in your minutes from back in 2014. So,
No, sounds good to me. Good to you? Yep. Good to you, Ken?
No.
Do you have a motion to accept sand policy? I make a motion, or a second? All in favor?
Aye.
I will put a, I left the November 30th date on here, so I'm gonna print up a new one with the correct date and
Okay.
put it in your box.
Okay.
I was gonna say mine has a 14.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know why this one that I have,
You
I
signed mine.
printed the, so.
Okay, we have a flags and banners. I did not get to look at the flags, so did you guys by any chance?
Yep.
Will that pull up on your,
I was just looking for the heading
oh,
here.
here, I have the,
St. Paul's insurance section.
I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Oh, is it not?
You guys, I ain't really-
it's not in that one, no, it was in your one from last meeting.
Oh.
I sent you
Oh,
a
you
separate
sent-
email,
yeah, I
I
was
sent you a
gonna
separate
say.
email that said,
Yeah, I brought it
Because
up
we didn't have
and looked at the flag,
Right.
yeah.
we didn't have Wi-Fi, so. We have $1,200 in there right now. Oh, and. We have 34 telephone poles from Route 16 to the four-way intersection.
How many?
34.
Huh.
We have 24 poles from Rhines Road to the intersection. So I don't know if you wanted to do from Route 16 in, or did you want to start from like the Rhines Road
Do we
to?
have to do every poll?
Nope. You can
Should
do,
be every other.
you can do every other. We also have had somebody that's been kind of watching this on the TV, and they have flags that they would like to donate to the town. They're going to be bringing them down to Wayne that are on poles already. We just need to buy the brackets. So then Wayne was kind of thinking, would you want to do a banner and then a flag, a banner and then a flag?
What's the flags that they have?
Just an American flag that, you know, hangs out over,
Yeah,
Oh,
not the banners.
and the banners
those
are,
were really a problem when we had it before.
They get
the road-
twisted in the
yeah.
rain and the wind and.
Yeah, the road crews had quite a time.
what's wrong with them?
The wind
Wraps them
twists them all,
around.
wraps them all around, and all you see is a pole sticking out with material.
Now, the banners are held by two wagons, so they
Right.
can't fold
Right.
out.
Right.
What's the did you decide on what the banners
This
were
is
gonna
what
be?
you're gonna look at right now. Kenny's gonna put it up,
Oh.
hopefully. Will it come up?
It was much easier when I had a link to click on.
Oh, there it is.
It's Christmas decoration. Keep doing
That's
shadow.
okay. Oh, look, it's-
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. So go under Avenue banners. Custom. So there's some ideas.
But didn't we decide we wanted to put the town seal?
Yes, we decided the town seal, but what we haven't decided is the color.
Yeah.
The color of the flag itself?
Like the background
Background
color,
color.
because you already have, you know, you got blue and red in there. Do you want it to be a blue flag? You know, are you looking like, you know, so say that one on the first row, all the way to the right, where it says Rock, is it Rockhaven? Or Lockhaven? You know, you kind of have your seal in the middle, and it could say, welcome to Wakefield,
Would we
or
make it white like that and have the seal?
we would have it, oh, I wouldn't have a white flag.
No, that's not too much.
There?
No,
Weather.
no, I would,
Well, the seal, well, I
Seal's
guess
right
maybe
over there.
blue, I guess. Red, well, red is
Well,
just
the
red.
blue highway car really sticks out the seal.
Mm.
Does on the red trucks too, though.
yeah, you could
It's
go with either
red
or, red,
around
red.
the outside of it, Ken, put yours down a little bit. See how it's got that red line? Maybe if it had blue, you'd see that red.
See, that would stand out more.
Yeah.
More of a navy blue, or
Like, what?
I lost it.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I ain't no color person anymore.
And are you thinking, welcome to the town of Wakefield?
Yeah, welcome to
Did you
town.
wanna do the individual villages, or are you just gonna say, we decided to welcome to the town of Wakefield? And when, whether we put them in Union, East Wakefield, Sanbornville,
I think we should just do Wakefield.
Wakefield, it's all
it's
one.
all the town of Wakefield.
Yeah, I'm good. I like that. I mean, I don't think we have to separate us.
Well, I was just gonna say, welcome to town of Wakefield, village of Union, village of Sanbornville, village of East Wakefield. But if you wanna just do welcome to the town,
Well, as long as we have Wakefield on there, I wouldn't mind the village of,
Yeah,
because people have a hard time understanding that
Mm.
concept.
right,
And if it was on a flag, maybe they'd get the idea a little bit better. As long as it said Wakefield, town
Yeah.
of.
I'd say, welcome to the town, if you can fit it all here, welcome to the town of Wakefield, seal, and underneath say village of.
Yeah,
And then village of and village of,
right.
yeah.
you know, underneath,
Yeah, that
underneath the
sounds
seal.
good to me.
I leave that up to you. Yeah, I like that.
I would like to take this opportunity, even though I have said this before, that we have Jim Miller to thank for our seal,
Yeah.
and he did a wonderful job with it. Everybody has commented on it that they've seen on the police cruisers, the fire trucks, and so on and so forth. So I would just like to say again, thank you
Good job.
to Jim Miller.
So, village of, when I get out towards Burleyville, is that it? That's not,
No, that's
no,
not a village.
okay. And I think we'll have to decide where we want these in East Wakefield. Are you
Right.
just talking?
Somewhere like from Woodman Corner to the village, to the stores.
All the way to
Yeah,
the stores, is that?
that's the village. It's from the corner of Ballard Ridge
Yep,
to maybe just beyond the store by the pickpocket.
Right.
It's not pickpocket, Jim's wheelhouse there.
yep,
I think that's plenty for that area.
Is there an added cost each time we have a different design? If it's the same thing, if we put village on the bottom, they're gonna whack us in another, I would just be
with the
looking.
words, with the wording, I don't,
Cause the setup fee for the screen printer and
it
all
says
that.
artwork cost included. We just needed to decide the banner flag or town seal, the background, that kind of thing, but Wayne had said that artwork was included.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter if they're all different.
That's a good question.
And I think even up there in East Wakefield, it ought to be every other pole. It shouldn't be every pole.
Same idea, at least
Yeah.
the two entering, coming
Yeah,
down 53,
right.
if they're, same with Union, the two
Yeah.
entering, yeah.
And if we
change
felt
that
that
to
it
the,
wasn't enough, we do it
340,
another
yeah.
year. I mean, but
yeah.
right now, yeah. I mean,
Because that's what
Start.
they do down in Rochester with their wreaths and
Mhm.
whatever they decorate for Halloween and everything.
So
It's
maybe
every
if I
other
buy,
lamp pole.
so the brackets, that's what the killer is, $79 a set. I don't know if you have to buy them just from there or what, but you can at least get the flag, we can get 20 flags, they're $960 for 20 flags. But I won't put them all up until we have all the villages,
Yeah.
but I think the first that you order should be the village of Sanbornville.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then after the budget passes, we can then go ahead and order the ones for Union and order
Yeah.
the ones for East Wakefield.
How
And then
many
get
do you think
20
you
from
can buy?
each. Oh, you have $1,200 in there. So,
That's 20.
so if you order 20, they're $48 when you jump up to 20, and so it'll be $960.
So
And
that
then
could
you
be the
order
whole
a few
village.
sets.
I could do this whole bill.
Yeah, pretty much, I said
Yeah.
24, so you
Yeah.
can skip a few here and there, or whatever.
Yep.
I don't think you even need more than 6 in this village. 1, 2, 3, not every pole, but as you're entering into it. I think
That's
it's
for starting down at the beginning, coming up by the church. and-
by the church, something, up by the pub, something. I mean, this has several entranceways, so you need more. 2 in Union, 2 in East Wakefield, 2 in the historical area, 2 plus 6, 4 here, how many we want, 10? And there's 10 to get started and see how many get stolen,
Oh, I don't think it's.
So, on the 20, we don't wanna,
It's getting stolen. It's
we don't
getting
want them
haunted.
all 20 to say Salmonville.
I guess not, I guess, so you want me to see if I can do, maybe if I do 10 Village of Salmonville and 10 Village of Union for now, and then order the next time,
Or do it
order
5 and 5,
5 and
for
5.
Union and East Wakefield.
Okay.
East Wakefield's probably longer than Union.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
It ain't very far from the.
I mean, I think you're gonna need more than that, but if you want to
Yeah.
start with that,
Yeah.
that's fine, just to show.
6,
So I think once you're welcomed once, that's it, you're
8,
welcome.
9,
You don't need to be
10.
welcome.
Yeah, right.
I bet you there's only 10 poles for the East Wakefield, 10, 12 poles.
So they
Why,
have
Charlie,
it.
there's 34 from
200
16 to here.
Yeah, but that's
34
quite a distance.
poles.
You're talking,
But from
200 feet,
Woodman,
every 200 feet there's a pole.
from Woodman all the way to the,
Woodman's to the.
count them. Next,
to
when you go
the-
to breakfast tomorrow, let me know how many poles you can fill, and only one side, obviously, it's just one side of, I don't want,
Go wherever the pole is.
yeah, wherever the, yeah,
Yeah,
I would say the
I'll let you
lane
know.
of traffic side.
right.
I'd say East Wakefield, one coming in, one coming out on the 153, and one coming in from Maine, 3. Union, 2, maybe a third coming down the hill.
Really? Because a lot of times you go to, they have them on, like every
Yeah,
other, they
I
have them pretty repetitiously, but.
Oh, we're on a budget. There's 3, 6, and 4 here.
How about Smile? You're in Wakefield.
So we got enough for 20, right? You
10.
just said.
Let
we
me,
got enough
sorry,
for
so
10.
let me get 20, I can do 20, and I will split them up
And then we'll put them out
for
and
the
then we'll fill
different
in the blanks.
villages, and then we'll see how it looks.
We'll fill in the blanks with,
Because we won't put them up till spring anyway.
Right.
but I'll count for you tomorrow.
All right,
Because I'm
just
kind of
curious
curious
how many,
now.
yeah.
I bet there's, I would almost say there's 12.
And then next time somebody's in Union, we'll have to count.
Okay.
So, can anybody buy their own flag and put it on a telephone pole?
No.
Okay.
You have to get permission from Eversource to put stuff on a telephone pole.
Have we got permission yet?
No, I get it, and it usually comes, I have it on my desktop. They don't usually start submitting them until like February.
Yeah.
So should we make sure we have permission before we buy them? I mean, probably they won't.
Oh, I don't think there's, I think it's just to let them, it's more
Yeah.
let them know type thing, so
I
if they're
mean,
needing
they
to do
didn't.
work.
How come they let all these other towns?
Yeah, I think
You
it's,
know,
I think it's just a courtesy.
Yeah. Just a courtesy,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Maybe Farmington take the Christmas lights down.
I know, they did.
What?
In
They
Farmington,
found to take their Christmas lights down.
attached to the poles.
Oh.
That was a couple of years ago, I don't know if they.
Really?
Julie was trying to save the lights.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah. They
Okay.
did that.
Julio. Yeah, that's funny. All right. New business, warrant articles.
here's some new ones. Again, I sent you guys an email today.
Oh, I printed these.
Oh, you printed, was that from today?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
No, that's old, Carol.
Oh, okay.
Kenny probably has it in his email. I sent out. It was just at the end, I had, put in the same wording for 2 articles. That's all it was different. I'd send you a corrected one, Tony.
So is this for us
So,
to look at, or
You need to
do we
vote.
accept
you
these?
need to vote tonight on these.
Do we do these separately and read them out?
Yes.
All right. First article.
Oh, you don't have to read it. I mean, you can say for the capital reserve ambulance, I mean, this is,
Okay,
You know,
for the ambulance
and the
reserve of
amount.
39,000. How do we feel with that?
Make a motion,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good. All right, the second is the 10,000 added for the bridge construction, capital reserve fund. That's just to keep money going in it to repair our bridges. Do I have a motion for that?
Yep.
A second. All in favor?
Just
Aye.
on that, if we're resurfacing a bridge, that could come out of that area, right?
bridge construction, I would say so.
Yeah, because we need to
Just to clarify.
resurface that
Oh,
north bridge.
right.
Yeah. Okay, to, 40, for 40,000 for a new fire truck, capital reserve fund, to keep the scheduled replacement.
Motion?
Second,
Yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 75,000 for the highway truck to keep it in schedule. Do I have a motion for that?
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
35,000 transfer station facility, capital reserve. I'll make a motion for that. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
$50,000 added to the highway heavy equipment capital reserve fund. Do I have a motion to accept that?
Yeah.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We got 11,500 for town hall improvements. I'll make a motion for that. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 33,840 for the scheduled police cruiser. Do I have a motion for that?
Yeah.
All, second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We got 30,000 for the invasive species as last year, expendable trust fund. Do I have a motion for that?
Aye.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 10,000 to the technology fund. Do I have a motion for that?
Yep.
So, second? I'll make a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, emergency management capital reserve for $1,750. Something we, are we still, are we at the end of that?
That was my question, where our cap was.
I thought we had a $10,000
Yeah, you're at
cap.
15. And Ken, you guys talked with him when he came in, that's what he's recommending again?
12.5.
Oh, just 12.5, sorry.
Yeah.
that was 15.
I think
Yeah,
we established it when the tornado went through Barnstead and stuff, and really in emergency management, I think there was a couple $100 or so. We realized that, same as the forest fire, that we really didn't have any money to do anything, so we threw a goal of 10 grand out there, and if you really need it, 10 probably isn't gonna do you, so I think the goal was just to get to 15 and hopefully stop putting money in.
Alright, so do we take this one and then,
We're at 12,522.28.
Oh, okay.
so do I get a motion for the $1,750?
Yep.
A second? All in favor? Aye. Good thoughts. 200,000 for the highway construction projects. I'll make a motion for that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 10,000 for the security device. What was that?
Cameras.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm,
All right. Do we have a motion on the table for that, Kenneth?
I will.
All right, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's see, 18,500 assessing,
Statistical update.
Statistical
you got it, I can't quite pronounce that one. That's, is mandatory, so, make a motion for that. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We got a new, capital reserve fund. Do we do these ones too?
Yep, this one you do.
Okay, this one is for the Greater Resource Protection, Resource Center. They want, we want to put $5,000 in there so that they can start building up a fund to take care of that building. Do I have a motion on the table to accept?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
For discussion.
Okay. What up?
We're putting 5 grand in.
Mhm.
Do you plan on spending 5 grand next year, or waiting 3 years down the road to get 15 to do something?
I don't see how they can do anything with 5,000.
I think 15's gonna be a stretch, just, well, how much was it to fix the windows here?
We got a grant for 10,000 and now we just got a grant for, well, the whole project would be 48, so we're talking about 58, 60,000.
Just to fix,
Just,
Mhm.
just to
not install new
restore.
windows, to
Yeah.
paint, putty, it's broke, since weather stripping. I think that building has more windows than this here, but it doesn't, they're small, I think, and you're not heating the second floor, and this is the core of downtown Union.
I did just hear from Lori down there that that they will be asking for a encumbrance of the $2,500 from 2016's money, because they're gonna, they found somebody to do some, I think it's under the walkway, when you first walk in, to do some painting and stuff like that, so they need to encumber that money.
So what are you thinking is, I know it's not enough, by all means.
I wish there was the village to support it, or a group to support it, and say, this is our game plan, we need $50,000 in 3 years, we need to do this, 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 and this, and I understand the volunteers have a lot on their plates down there, but I think the money pit was used tonight and retracted for the dam, but this has got money pit written all over it. We had the furnace die there a few years ago. We had a special town meeting, I believe, right? To fix the furnace?
Not a special town meeting,
No,
just
just
to
to expend it.
expend it out of the unassigned fund balance.
They need $100,000 in reality, and tenants to keep it alive and vibrant. It's the core of the downtown down there. 5,000 is just, it establishes an account.
What's that?
I said I was gonna give you a call, see if you answer. That's just my thought. I mean, it's a huge old building, and we all know with the old buildings, you gotta work every side every year, and by the time you get back to the
Just
first
start
side, you gotta start, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep going, you gotta stay on it.
That, I know, and the sad part is, I don't know, but I don't think there's enough influence on who's asking for the money to information. I mean, they're saying that they can do something for 2,500, well, okay, but when you're talking a building of that size, 2,500 doesn't even do the entrance, you know,
Yeah.
in reality.
$50 a gallon paint.
But, I guess, this is all they're asking for, so what do we do? Do we increase it, or do we,
Without a plan.
you can't really increase?
No.
Yeah, so, do they learn a valuable lesson? How does it work?
I think basically, we told them they had to do something like this.
And they did,
And they
came up
did.
with a-
Whether or not they have enough money in there is not really up to us to decide, because they haven't,
Correct.
I don't know, I just,
I think maybe next year then, if you do put $5,000 in to get it started, then next year you ask for a better plan. They're
Yeah.
not gonna be able to use just that little bit of money. And then next year you ask for a better plan on what it is that they want to do in 2018 in order to put any additional money into it. But this is there
But I-
for, it's kind of almost like, oh,
Tom's
God,
back.
like, is everything all right?
Yeah,
Jeez.
now because you guys are talking about the resources.
Oh, yeah.
Watching on Facebook.
Oh, like, that scared me.
Sorry.
I know, I thought the town came back.
Huh? I came back for a cookie. No, I just wanted to talk about the resource center real quick. We've done a building capital improvements plan for the last 4 years for the town. It came here. And it showed we needed a roof in 2020. It's about $30,000. So we were recommended that we start this fund, so in the next 4 years, we'll have $25,000 to be able to do the roof.
Well, that's good information.
Yeah, so what
So,
Watching at home.
So it's a capital improvements plan that you guys asked us to do, we've done, and now that's what that $5,000 a year is gonna have to be. It's what I referred to earlier as like a money pit. The dam is different than this. It's gonna be a one-time thing to fix the dam.
So
Versus,
hopefully it won't have.
versus the resource center, we gotta maintain the outside of that building forever. It's not a money pit, I think it's a great resource for,
It's the core of Union.
it absolutely is.
The plan, Tom, that has been given to the board, has been like 25,000 for this year to do this, 25,000 for this year.
That's just maintenance, that's just
2,500,
exterior
sorry,
maintenance.
2,500 to do
That's just
this.
exterior maintenance.
Okay, there was never, I
I've
don't
never
remember a
seen
discussion
anything.
of 30,000 to do the.
We've given a 10-year plan for that building, what we think would need to be replaced over the next 10 years, and we've been giving it to you guys every year. Or maybe it goes to the capital improvements committee.
Well,
I think it
I
did.
have this, which is really, and this is what I was that Lori gave me, that I have given to the board of the past 2 years, which is really just talking about the little maintenance, so, and
Did it show the roof on the
It
other one in
doesn't.
2020?
No.
That's what I'm not seeing.
So we have the one that shows major, like even it shows the roof, it shows, I thought,
it,
possibly a leach field someday in the future.
what it does have a little asterisk is here, it says, if necessary, these amounts could be obtained by warrant article to create a capital reserve fund for larger projects such as roof or parking lot. But it doesn't actually, so,
I remember seeing something like that when we were going over capital improvement plans. I don't know if it was on the planning board or what. It was.
Yeah, the capital improvements, in the capital improvements,
Yeah,
town buildings in the
I
capital
remember seeing
improvement.
that.
oh, okay, all right. So, well, there, so now we know, and I can,
Because we're just sitting there thinking 5,000 doesn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Right, because we don't need any money, we don't pay for anything capital improvement until 5 years from now.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the table and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We didn't have to go outside to watch it, you know. You could have sat in here with us.
It was relaxed.
I was really gonna stay, but the guys got me a little riled up outside.
All right, let's see.
the next one, Charlie, does not have to be a vote of the selectmen.
The veterans property tax credit, okay?
Another,
How about the 48,814 for the
Yes.
restoration of the town hall opera house? Oh, the windows. This is the split project that I just went to, we just got $24,000 check. Oh, we haven't got it yet, but we've been accepted.
24,407 for the L chip, and I was gonna go over that during my administrator update, so we could do it now too if you'd like.
There's pictures.
Yeah, that was kind of cool, huh? I thought that was kind of cool.
So the town has been awarded the grant. Would you like me to read this? On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Land and Community Heritage Investment Program, LCHIP, I am pleased to provide this official notification of the grant award of up to $24,407 for the Wakefield Town Hall project. And then it talks about the enclosed as grant terms, conditions, understandings. That's really about it on this. It's just talking about having, that Charlie went to accept the award on last Thursday.
There was almost $6 million asked for by the communities, the states, towns. And I think they gave out like 3.4 or 3 million and something. And there was a lot of people in groups that were there accepting these awards, and it was, you know, same people as we are.
Yeah.
It was kind of exciting. They held it in the legislative office, right in the hallway, and the Joe Kenney was right up front there. He was all about us being there, and Maggie Hassan gave it out, and there was, I think there was a senator or something there. There was a lot of important people. Our name was brought up last, because it's Wakefield, W. I was sweating through the whole thing. But it was fun. I was pretty excited to do that.
Yeah, I'm glad you went. I wish I could have gone too, but I had other plans that day.
No, it worked out good, and we got 24,000 towards 48,000.
And we have, right, it's a 50-50, so they give you have to raise, and they don't give you anything until you actually do the matching, you have to approve. So there are some stipulations, and I know, we've talked about this with grants before. Before it can even start, I have to give them a detailed description of the work that will be performed. The plans have to be approved by LCHIP before it actually can be done.
I did
It
do
has to
some
be-
research on this before I made my decision.
It has to be done within 24 months of the grant award. We have to have proof of the matching funds, which is what this article is. So if this article does not pass, we do then have another year to go ahead and try to get it to pass. And if it doesn't, then the project doesn't happen. But, and then we would be scrambling. And you have to give a list of the contractors.
Yeah, and the only string to it, so say, is that we have to keep a log on what it does for the town and how it helps keep heat
Stewardship
and-
plan, how you
A
ensure
report.
that the property will be maintained in good
Correct.
condition over time.
Other than that, for strings, just to let the public know that there is none.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good grant that we should have. And I did ask some of the ones that don't like grants at all, and they accepted that. So I felt confident enough that
Good.
that was good.
So while we're talking about it, before we jump back to the warrant article, well, let's finish the warrant articles for Tony's minutes, and then we'll jump back to the signature.
Okay.
Okay?
So, a motion on the table, do we have?
No, you don't.
Okay, I'll make a motion for that.
Okay.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that's for the window grant.
Just for the window.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Okay, we got a
These next ones I wrote because you guys talked about having a straw type
I like that.
hole on, so I don't know if that wording is okay with you. I kind of went back in some old minutes to see, I mean, old
something,
warrant.
Ken, did you look at that, Ken?
Yeah, so straw poll, which I think we've learned a lesson that that's probably not the route to go, because if you ever go against the straw poll, it's shoved down your throat. So if we did stick with this straw poll and they were in favor, we'd still be next year, because we'd have to go through town meeting to change it, the transfer station ordinance.
Ordinance.
Yeah, so I'd just throw it out there now and we'd see if they voted for it or against it
As a whole new ordinance?
as part of the ordinance. Because that really implements how you're designing and working down there.
So you're saying,
Instead of
Just
having a straw.
having it just
Not even
as
there.
asking the question,
No.
we put it out there, it either gets passed or it don't.
And then it would have to go through a public hearing for the transfer station ordinance? Or is that just
No,
strictly
see, I
just on the
think you
vote?
might actually have to do, did we do a public hearing last year
I think
before
so.
we did? I don't remember. I thought when you and I talked, we talked about straw poll, that's why I did the straw poll.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the straw poll will also give you an idea if they're in favor of going in that direction.
Oh, I think you're gonna get no on both of them.
Yeah.
Well, then why go through the whole process of doing up a whole ordinance change for the ballot?
in case I'm wrong.
No.
It happens occasionally. Because you never know, there are a lot of people that recycle and don't want to be forced regulations because they always recycle, so why do I have to use clear/white bags? And then you may have people that don't use the dump at all, so why am I paying for that? Yes, pay as you throw, make everyone, it's a user fee. And to me, it gives you guidance as far as which way to go.
I think last year on the ballot, I have to pull up the exact wording, but I think it was something to the fact of, are you in favor of changing the transfer station ordinance? But then we had the ordinance available for people,
Mhm.
the wording. So then, I mean, do you have both of them? Because they're two separate things. So do you have both of them in there? Are you thinking of them as a combined effort, or are you thinking of them if?
I think you could do two separate.
What is a pay-as-you-throw system?
You buy the bags there and it's $1 a bag,
Oh.
and then they're a certain colored bag.
Yeah, right. Well,
Then
I'll
at
have to
that
figure it
point,
out.
I don't care if you recycle. I don't care what you throw in your bag. You just paid $2 a bucket, $3, whatever. I don't think, if you wanna pay to throw out your bottles and your paper and your cans, then there's no reason to enforce what you're throwing away, because you're paying for whatever. I've heard a lot of people say, put them on the scale if they don't wanna recycle. Well, that's basically what that is. You go on the scale at $1 a bag or $3 a bag, whatever it is.
Plus the fee to get a sticker.
Yeah, that one was bothering me too.
But see, then you take like myself, I don't really care either way. I don't use the dump. I pay a lot,
Yeah.
you know?
But somebody like you that doesn't use it, then the people that do use it pay.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, you'd be generating,
but
All the revenue for it.
yeah, but I do want, I do want it to be the best for everybody, I guess. So you're saying don't do the straw hold at all? Or, and she doesn't think we got time to do?
I guess I'm a little concerned about the timing. At the last year's article, it said to see if the town will vote to adopt the Town of Wakefield Transfer Station and Recycling Center Ordinance in accordance with RSA 149. So it was an ordinance that you had already developed from having public hearings in order to then put it towards to the people. I've got to get, I've just wrote articles to put into the DRA website. I just took some of these already and just started putting them in because I wrote notes to myself last year to make sure I got these in before the Budget Committee's public hearing on the 10th, because it was too much of a tight time frame then.
squish it all in.
Right, before then the deliberative session and the approval of DRA and Rick. So,
Leave it as
I don't
it is?
know that you have time for a public hearing.
I
guess
don't
is
really like these straw polls, because, so if people vote no, and then
Well, that
by
tells
some
you,
chance, we have a public hearing on changing the, ordinance or whatever, and the people at that public hearing want clear plastic bags, then you're in a problem. I don't know.
well, I'm only looking at it because I think the straw poll shows you which direction to head. If it's voted no by, you're gonna see a margin, right? You're gonna see how many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it says it's 300 to 100, then you're gonna know that it's something to move forward with. But if you see something that's 300 against it and 100, and then I guess you wouldn't wanna waste your time. So I guess it's just like putting it out there to see, but then again, it's too easy to just say no, no, no on everything.
Well, then at that point, then we know our recycling center is going to be recycling center,
Right.
and we have to concentrate on the design.
As is.
As is.
As is.
Okay. So do we leave it alone and see what it says? What do you wanna do?
It's okay with me.
I'm okay with it, I guess I don't think it hurts anything to do it, but I don't want,
But means you're 2
You-
years out.
what's that?
It means you're 2 years out.
Oh, I see what you're saying,
If you do this and it gets voted on for 2017, you
Approve,
can
say,
start,
whatever.
moving in the direction
Well,
of,
who's
as
to
far
say
as
we
what
can't
you're
have
doing,
enough?
changing the transfer station. If you, like Clearbags isn't gonna change the transfer station. That's not gonna change the design of the transfer station. It's still trash, it's just going in with regular trash. But pay as you throw could, if they're not recycling, right?
Well, clear bags, assumingly, or I'm guessing would be increasing recycling. So everything's just not getting thrown into the household waste, now your recycling centers stops and picking up more too.
But
I don't know if it
why can't we
changes
have,
design.
why does it have to wait 2 years? Like, you can't hold a special meeting?
No, so what you would do is,
No.
so.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry. No, so you would end up, And next year, you know, saying they vote on this, and then you start thinking about what you wanna do with the transfer station, I mean, you could still start some of the plans, you could come up with, if somebody says, if they all say, oh yeah, we want clear bags, and they don't want pay as you throw. So you start working in the direction that I'm gonna be thinking, they definitely want recycling. We want recycling, we wanna do it better, we wanna learn more, we wanna move in that direction. 2017, you can get the plans done, you can start moving in that direction. 2018, on your thing, it's gonna say the same article right here. It's gonna say, are you in favor of adopting the Wakefield Transfer Station ordinance? Which will include clear bags.
Strike out and underlines.
Right. And
Okay,
then you'll have a, before now, you would have a public hearing, so on your ballot for 2018.
so when you say 2018, that sounds like 2 years, but I mean, it's 2017 now.
By the time you build it, it would be the
Basically.
end of 2018
Tell me that.
It'd be this time in 2 years. Yeah, by the time it was actually done, because you can't, by the time you pass the thing, you're not gonna build something in the middle of the summer, you're gonna wait till the fall, and
Okay.
so,
What do you want to do?
either way, it's, either,
I'm-
but if
I'm
you
good with
do
what-
nothing, then you're nothing, then you're
Yeah.
nothing, like, you don't have time for the public hearing to actually change the ordinance right now. I think it's a good idea to ask the people.
The residents are gonna take the straw poll as a binding document. So if they were for it, they'll wanna push for it. If they're against it, then no future boards will ever bring it up again.
Right.
You know, that's the only thing I see with that. I think with the state we're at.
And we may find out that we can't even do a straw poll. I got this from years ago
Yeah.
on a warrant. I don't even know if I can.
That was the last straw poll we did.
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was for now.
Planner.
No, that wasn't a straw poll.
That was a straw poll.
Yeah, it was.
Because it was a no and then a planner.
It didn't say
I
straw
thought it- no, it didn't say
It
straw
just
poll.
said, are
You
you
were
in
in
favor?
favor.
Yeah, it didn't say straw poll though,
Yeah.
it just, yeah.
What a name for just a question. Straw poll.
And do we have to have that?
I think what it's saying by reading straw poll, I would take it as this is a non-binding article and you're just trying to get a.
That's what I was trying to
Sex.
say.
That's
I don't have,
sex,
right,
yeah.
I don't have to say straw poll, I could just leave the section where it says, this is an advisory article placed on the warrant by the Board of Selectmen and is non-binding. I don't have to use the word straw poll
Oh, I think
before
straw
that.
poll is much more clearer than
Oh.
what you just read.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I could have both.
So do we let it go forward?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to accept,
Both of them.
both of them?
Yeah, I don't put that on as anything, because it's no
Oh,
money, no money,
okay.
but
Alright,
you're
so
in
we
favor of
have-
it, so you'll discuss.
Now, we have this one, you have this
You have the one,
petition?
yeah, you have the one petition article again, it's not a money article, so you don't.
We don't vote.
on it.
Okay.
No.
So
But
we
it's just so you know that this is what came in.
Solar energy. Property tax, preservation.
And the petitioner should be at the meeting.
Okay.
And just so you know, at your next meeting, you will likely have the one for the septic tank at the resource center. And Todd is working on a warrant article that he hopes that you will move forward for doing signing on the East Wakefield Fire Station. He told me he wanted to know when his last time was to get that in, so.
He wants to put a new sign up? Is that what he said?
Siding.
Siding, oh, that's right, he's
Siding.
been wanting to talk.
Yeah,
Alright,
so those will be two more that will likely come
Okay.
to you before the.
I think that's asbestos down there. I think so. Maybe not.
So the budget committee will review
Yep.
these also on Thursday.
All right.
Did you have questions on this, when you looked at it? Readers?
No,
Yeah.
it was the only one was the zero on the public safety bill in phase 2. How does that? That's not.
That means you don't need any more money for what you're doing.
Right, you're not raising and appropriating any more money into that.
No, we've got what we need.
Right, so you have currently in that fund 44,394. You're not recommending that you put any more money into it.
But I thought we had,
Then you have your, it's not in this fund.
okay, all right, so
It's
that's
a
all I need
whole
to-
separate thing, the
All right, I'm all
333.
set.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, good.
So if you could, sign that L chip while
Yep.
we're
Onto it.
onto that, that would be great. No.
Cracking those notes out.
See, it's okay. I should just-
All right, so,
Thank you.
proposed capital reserve expenditures. I have one here for 12,217. That was for the initial excavated work for the water main to put the sprinkler system in the town, in the public safety building. Do I have a motion to accept that?
So
Yeah.
moved.
Second? All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
I have a $2,094.96. This is for where we came into the building was not adequate enough to accommodate the machinery that, so we had to go in another six feet or so into the building more to get it into a wall so that we can get upstairs. We had hit ledge, I'll come up with that on the next one, but that pushed us in a little further to get it away from the door. So this was an extra on on the public safety building for an extended pipe into the building. So that was for $2,094.96. Can I have a motion to accept that?
So moved.
Okay, a second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
This one is for $7,237. This is also an extra down there. As I was telling you earlier, Ken, we struck ledge very heavily. We hit it so bad that there was no getting frost protection on our water line. So I had to call in some heavy artillery, which was very expensive, but just to make you feel good, I am still under what I had anticipated putting into it, but not where I would have liked to be. So it's for $7,237. Do I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
But just to let you know, everything came out perfect. It's all done, it's all in. I will say thank you to the excavation company, Earthworks, Integrity. They did a very nice job and they were very, extremely decent to work with.
And now we're moving forward with the framing.
Now we're moving
bid.
forward with the framing bid.
It'll be posted up
And get
tomorrow.
that framing out there and I'll get that done. So hopefully, within reason, I might be able to get that done so we can insulate, and then we can maybe save most of the season of the wasted heat that leaves that building. Okay, correspondence, Carroll County proposed budget. Now, this is just to let us know
Yep, in
what's going
2017,
on
yeah,
for
estimated.
the Carroll County. Move on in. Yeah, we'll move it here. Okay, we have a Clearview correspondence, letting us know, what their, project income and expense sheet is. I have to say that it's very informative. They've done a great job. And it looks pretty informative, so.
Yeah, by the end of November every year, per the agreement, Clearview needs to give us an update of what 2017 expenses and income will be.
Yep.
So that's what this is.
Yeah, looks great.
So,
We also got a letter, and I'm assuming we've all read it, just Jim giving us some of his concerns and things like that. Very informative.
What do you want to do, what do the two of you want to do about, the liaison for the, Clearview? As you recall, I volunteered to be on that committee, but, Jim has put some new, things in here, but it is up to the selectmen.
Well, how do you feel about it?
I'll leave it up to you two, what you wanna do.
Do you think that it would be better if we picked somebody outside us?
Probably, under the circumstances.
I think so. Okay, I don't have anybody in mind,
I don't
so
either.
I guess you probably don't either, huh, Ken? Or do you? Or what do you think?
Should be somebody that has cable. I would think.
It has to be.
Well, somebody
It has
that
to be
pays for
certain.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
it should be, I mean, I would do it, but I don't have cable, so I.
Me neither.
I would
They
get
don't want
this
my
side of the
opinion.
camera, so.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Although they've done a really good job, Gabe's done a lot of work getting it out there on the Facebook, getting it more and more out there. And I've always said from the very beginning, you've got to do something more than just borrowing selectmen's minutes. You've got to get the kids' basketball and baseball and stuff like that, the graduations down to Paul School. So getting the second channel, getting the second stuff, they're really moving in the right direction, I think. And at that point, they've got the fees coming in, stabilizing the management, getting these things spent, and having reliable employees that are always there. Donna's done a great job at being there all the time, so.
So do we put it out on the website to see if we can get any response from anybody?
That's what I
Wanting to serve on the board?
Yeah, that would like to serve on the board, and then we'll make a decision when we see who's interested.
Donna,
May I suggest someone who has asked to be the liaison that Jim was talking to?
Who?
Fred Gilmanson.
I was gonna say that from the beginning, but I didn't know.
Fred very much wants to do it.
Okay. So tell Fred to answer the call when he sees it on the website. Very good.
Flash cable.
Let's move on. Got, in the audience.
Public comment.
Yep. Administrative update. I am gonna make a suggestion. I think I love listening to you, but I think you're part of the camera, and I'm almost wondering if it would be better if we didn't ask questions. And if you wanted to ask us something, we'd probably.
I'm not gonna ask. No, we asked for public comment.
yeah, she can do public comment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just thinking, wait, that it's media, and I was wondering if that made a difference to anybody.
The only thing they used to
I think
say
it
was
says
you
it-
have to stand in front of the
It-
camera.
I think it says it in here, that's the only reason I think.
That's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because it kind of says something like, that's how I'm taking it in the letter.
Well, Ed always used to come over here.
But Ed's not part of the town, not part of the movie, he's here on his own.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have go ahead and ask Fred now.
Fred Gilmanson would like me to invite everybody to his candlelight Christmas service on December 18th on Stoneham Road at 5 p.m. at the Cotton Mountain Church.
Awesome, thank you.
Everyone here and all the viewers.
And I'm not saying it's just how I think I was reading it, it's just that it might be better if we kept media, so that they're biased as well as us, or something of that nature. I don't know if I'm reading that correctly or not, but I just brought it up. Okay, good job, thank you.
Yeah, it just says, considered developing a policy that discourages Clearview cameramen from participating in meetings.
Yeah, so that's how.
That's in the future,
Yeah.
that's in the future what they're planning, so.
So, I kind of like the idea, not that I don't think that they have anything to, they've got plenty to help with, but I mean, we just went through a really big deal with the candidates and the government thing and the media and all that, and it just got out of hand. Maybe Jim's onto something here. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Town administrator update.
Well, since we've already done two of the things that I have on my list, yay. Let's see, so I asked all of the department heads to give me something if they wanted to encumber any money. I know that one will likely be coming to you at your next meeting, but I have this one, which is for the building inspector's office. It's for 6 hours of on-site training from Avatar, to come on-site. Once we hire our new person, then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them down there that would like somebody to come on-site to actually do their training here. And Avatar will do that. It's $570. It includes their travel time with the 6 hours. So they would like to encumber $570. In order to encumber $570 from the training line, they need to move money to the training line. So they're asking if they could move money from the bill inspector, code enforcement, clerk line to the bill inspector, code enforcement training line.
And that's already there, the money's there, we need.
Right, so the money's coming from the admin position that you had.
And we're not against having training, we want them to be trained properly.
And I will say, they can go off-site at no charge. They're opting to have them come on-site because they feel that the system itself here, they want somebody to go in and look at what is being done, or what has in the past been done on the site to make sure that they're utilizing it and what the information that they have is. So they'll go through and clean up what they have in the program. So that's why
They're
they're
going off somewhere.
asking for that. And I think if they go off, it's only 2 hours. If they're here, they give them a little bit more time.
Do you think?
It clearly wasn't in the budget. They're using the money from the position that was vacated to switch the money and then encumber the money versus putting the money in the budget.
They didn't think they were gonna need that. They thought they had that person that ran that program, and now they're realizing they should have been,
Yeah.
everybody should have been cross-trained
Yeah.
in that. And now I think that's becoming a good understanding of the department to make sure that everybody knows what's going on.
So it's a one-time thing.
Yeah,
Well, I'm good with training now, I mean, as long as the rest of us are good with putting that money into there instead of where it is, then,
I don't have a problem with it.
nah, maybe
Yeah.
not. Okay. Do we need a motion for that?
you need a motion to move the $570 from the clerk line to the training line. That's the first motion.
I'll make that motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So that's for that one. And then they would like to encumber the $570 from that training line, and by encumbering it, it holds it over to next year. So when they get everybody settled and they get the new person in that position, then they'll have them come and do the training. And they can't do that without a contract. So we have the contract, and then we have the encumbering form.
So you need a motion to
Motion
accept
to-
the comment.
Yeah, to approve the encumbrance of $570. from
Do
the
I have a
training
motion for that?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great.
Okay, so there's two, I'm gonna put a tab on that, because on there, oh, that's just Charlie, yeah. Charlie, only your signature on the last page.
That was on the front page.
Oh, and the front page.
I gotta get me a signature. Can't beat. I love that.
It'll come.
I can't seem to figure one out yet. I've been thinking about it.
Charlie, he's got one for you.
Yeah.
Will you sign yours too?
There you go.
Oh, that's all I have. You're welcome.
Okay, building permit releases.
No, sir.
None. Payment manifest, we have, let's pass this one, this is standard routine. Town clerk, okay, we have a warrant article for $80,332.15. Do I have a motion to accept?
So,
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. I have a warrant article for $35,001.10. Do I have a motion to accept?
so,
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Jesus, I can't pick this one up. I think this is the biggest one I've ever done.
really?
Oh, yes, I can't even pick it up. All right, this one is, I gotta read the number on this one.
Yep.
That has what in it?
The county payment.
This is $1,368,057.18. Connie, would you like to put a motion into effect for this one?
No.
No?
Yes, I will.
Kenneth, you want a second?
Nope.
Okay, I'll second it, just for the fun of it. I didn't dare let that one slip by. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
That's a big one. I think that's the biggest one I've had.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that is
You'd
kind
like to.
That's fine. So
And
that's,
another
so,
person I would, let them come down and get their money and explain what they're doing with it.
they don't know.
They don't know, so why do we keep giving it to them?
I think they get
Because the law
better.
says so.
I think they get better.
Yep.
That was a good one. That's fun. All right. We have board minutes for November 30th. I believe we were all there and non-public. Do I have a motion on the table to accept Miss Bodah's writings?
So moved.
Second? I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
We have no non-public thing to go to?
Nope.
Yes, these cookies are waiting.